Good morning, traders. Hope you're having a blessed morning. Not seeing too many stocks popping up this morning. Of course, it is Friday, and we know Fridays can be sell everything you got, go into cash before the weekend. That's usually how this day works. If you're new here, we'll be watching this volume spike column. We don't go searching for stocks. They pop up right in front of us if they're going to move. So we watch these percentages rise, and as they rise, we click on them and check them out on the chart. This column over here is the momentum scanner. It's watching back 30 minutes for any stock that might be moving in pre-market. If it moves just a little bit, we get a low number. If it moves a lot, we get a higher number. So this is the stocks currently moving this morning. About 6:30, I'll do an introduction and a walkthrough of all the indicators. And that's because we need to get through market open first, which happens in about 2.5 minutes. And thank you to everyone on YouTube and Discord for joining us this morning as we wait on the first stock pick to happen at 6 o'clock. Hopefully we'll get a play here at 6. We had one or two yesterday, not real good ones, but we could use a good one to end the week. Not seeing anything up there yet. May take a few moments. I think we're going to need that this morning. Might as well get it out there. Thank you, Lord. Let's see what's going to happen here. Let's see what this first one's doing. NCPL, a cheaper penny stock. It's been a penny stock couple months. This one's already moving for us if you're a penny stock player. Just so you know, I don't chase green candles. I suggest you don't chase them either unless you are a professional candle chaser. It can cost you a lot of money, especially on penny stocks. We always wait for pullbacks. And we get in on the pullback for the second run up. And good morning to everyone saying good morning. I don't have time to call everyone's name out. The list has gotten way too big, and that's a blessing in itself. Let's see if this one pulls back, sells off, goes up. So if it's going to continue to go up, you want to get in at the bottom of this red candle. You don't want to chase the green ones. You want to get in on the pullbacks. We'll be playing pullbacks all morning if we get any. Reason I don't play penny stocks is they can have a big green candle like this, and the next thing you know, there's a big red one right behind it. That's why we don't buy the green ones, especially on these cheaper stocks. You never know if they're a pump and dump or if it's for real, especially in pre-market. Very little to pick through this morning, but this is typical on a Friday. We did have a good Friday last Friday. I believe we had one or two good stocks come in. We just have to be patient, grab a cup of coffee, dinner, lunch, wherever time zone you're in. Be patiently waiting. So this one had no follow through yet. It may come back in. And it did just as soon as I said that. It's only moving pennies at a time because it's a penny stock. Someone thought they called the bottom there and they didn't. That's what happens on penny stocks. There's one moving right here. We have VRCA. Looks like we may have caught this one right at the bottom if they can get volume to come in. Let's see if it was one purchase or a follow through. Got to keep your eye on this column. You saw how fast that came in there. Got to catch them as soon as they pop in. Good morning to everyone saying good morning. The volume could come back into this stock. You have to remember, we get the first notice, then you'll get a green candle, then everybody else starts finding it, and they drive it up even higher. That's why we wait on pullbacks. We wait on that first candle to pop up, then it pulls back a little, then other people find it, and that's when we get in. But they got to find it. That's the problem. It did spike up earlier before our market opened. It could not support that higher price, so this may just be somebody thinking it may go again or trying to get it to go again. Doesn't look like it's going to follow through. Alec, you're welcome. I'm working on them, and it's tough because some of these scripts I've written is not in Some of them weren't even in ThinkorSwim language. I had to see what the solution was to convert it to the same type of language. TradingView is a little harder because I don't even know Pine script. So I have numerous people trying to convert these scripts. Trying to make everybody happy. I'd love to get all the TradingView people over here as well. We'll work on it, keep working on it till we get it done. You know me, I never quit. We do a community effort on these conversions, we could probably get it done much faster, and I really appreciate everyone that's volunteering. I do have the new swing indicator converted, thanks to a member. So Sunday, I'll also be launching that for TradingView as well as ThinkorSwim. Looks like it's bumping up a little bit more. Let's see if they can drive it back up. It did pull back, so it's going to be your decision where you want to get in here if the volume continues. I'm watching the two volume lines at the bottom here. These are not moving averages. I'll explain them later. Actually, I can explain them now since it's just barely moving. So these are volume, instead of volume bars, we have volume lines. This way we can look back in history on the volume and see who was dominating this stock. And you can see the bump up here in the green, and then the sellers take over. The red line is the sellers. The green line are the buyers. And they're not really buyers and sellers. They're negative and positive volume. I was able to divide volume up, and when the volume is increasing and the price is going up, I call it buyers. And when it's doing the opposite, I call it sellers. So we can watch right here what the buyers and sellers are doing. Trading is always about the buyers and sellers and who's dominating that stock. Whoever dominates it determines the direction. So we follow the volume, we follow these lines, and we watch it on a chart to see who's winning and make our decision to get in or not. You'll be able to tell if the buyers take over the sellers down here. The green line will turn up. The red one will probably stay flat or chase it. So you got to pay close attention to what's going on, and I'll be explaining this through this trading session. It's something I'm testing. Yes, the EXT is something I'm testing. We'll see how it goes. It's coded mainly for after hours, not pre-market. I just wanted to see if something would pop up on it in pre-market. Andy, that's a tough question because we have so many good scans. The only thing I can do is suggest that you try them out. Many of us watch the 50-minute look-back scan. A lot of us watch the high flyer scan. I think those two are the most important scans, but we have so many scans that are good. It's best that you just keep checking them out till you land on the one that works for you. Yeah, Fridays are going to be slow. Enjoy your coffee, lunch, or dinner. We don't have to go searching for stocks. That's the best thing about this setup. They come to us. We just sit here and wait. I'm sorry I took all the work out of it for you. I know you're used to working really hard to find something. But you don't have to do that anymore. Andy used it all the time. Never chase a green candle unless you know what you're doing. It cost me quite a few dollars. I mean, for me, it's a 50-50 chance. And that chance is not good enough for me to throw money at it anymore. If you come here every morning and watch us play these pullbacks, you'll see that we very seldom lose when we get the opportunity. You get less stocks that way, but you're going to also have less losses. There's going to be stocks that shot up and you said, man, I should have got in, but they don't all perform the same way. The ones you get in usually go down the minute you click the buy button. We eliminate that loss and it works. Thank you, Joel. If you're new here, do not trade off of my screen. Sometimes our delays can get out of hand. Probably running 2 to 5 seconds this morning. That's the normal, but we have seen it go a couple of minutes, so be aware of that. Always get set up on your own computer if you're actually going to trade. If you're just here to watch, it'll be fine. Seeing a couple of percentages pop up here, but they're not moving, so there's no sense to jump and click on them. This number has to be really changing direction and hopefully changing to the upside. Jimmy, if we knew the answer to that question, we would all be rich. Heather, that's the advantage we have. We know beforehand because I'm ahead of you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We don't know. It's been like that for a couple of days, but it's okay. It's better than me being behind. WT, everything I have here is coded by me. I'm also a coder. You won't find anything that works this well on ThinkorSwim. BRSH moving up. If you're watching the candle over here growing. Got to break that level here, though, so don't be jumping in. It's already made its run. This is probably a retest of resistance here. This would be the support down here at the bottom of the body of these red candles. So it did give a pullback. I didn't mark it out. I thought it was going to sell off. But this is a perfect example of a pullback. The stock runs up. We wait on the profit takers to take their profit, and I'll be marking out the support level, waiting on the bounce back up to retest, and that's where you can make a lot of money. Easy money without losing the battle. So throughout the trading session, you'll see me watching the price rise. This will be the first climb of the price. Once that price peaks, I will set a resistance level here. Then you'll see the red candles come in for the profit takers, and when the red candle stops, I will set a support zone down here, and the support zone is always going to be your entry. But wait to see if we get a green candle that starts working its way back up before you decide to buy it or not. You'll see that playing the stock market this way, you have an 80 to 90% chance of winning because they're not selling it off. They ran it up, took profit, other people find it, and it runs up again. That's how this works. We've done it over and over and over again in these pre-market sessions. We probably lost 5 or 6, but I bet you we won 80 or 90 of them. Who knows? It's been 3 or 4 months of good success. Don't know the true number, but it's working. Malik, I've never had that issue. It works all the time for me, and you're the first one that said that. Maybe it's something on your end. Make sure you have the EXT checked. Well, wait a minute. I don't think there is an EXT on the dominator. But mine works all day long. Maybe you missed something when you loaded it, or maybe the computer missed something. You may want to try preloading it or reloading it. Regarding TradingView. Don't know if I put a timer in there or not, or maybe TradingView needs a timer to tell it when the market opens and closes. I'll dig deeper into it. And thank you for reporting that. That's what I need to hear if there's any issues before I move forward. Back to being silent this morning. These conversions to TradingView are very difficult for me. I know everything about ThinkScript. I know nothing about PineScript. So when there's an error, it's hard for me to figure out the error because I don't know PineScript. Everyone says use ChatGPT. I tried that. It gives me numerous errors when I move it over to PineScript. Trying to go up here. We did break the 32-cent level. It did set a new level here. I think I'd be careful on this one. The stock has already ran up. This is a good example how our volume dominator works, and I called it dominator because one of them is dominating over the other one always. You can see you had an earlier warning right here that this stock was starting to move up. You can see the buying volume coming in. You can see the selling volume was not as high as the buying volumes, therefore the price went up. Down here is low volume, up here is high volume. So when you see the green line take off, but you see the red line chasing it, be very careful. This angle is not the angle of the price. This is low volume and high volume. So don't think because these are angling up that price is going to go up. It only means the volume is increasing. You'll catch on. You keep attending these live streams, you'll catch on. Everybody else did. Hopefully you see a lot of people posting their profits in the chat. I'm hoping we have that kind of Friday, but it's not looking good at the moment. So be patient. When they pop up and you make a payday, your attitude will change. Jimmy, the pullback is whatever the sellers do. You can't, that's not a number I can guess at or tell you. Like, for instance, here the stock went up, but it didn't sell off back down to the bottom. It just had a few people taking profit. I try to stick within 2 or 3 red candles, not this many red candles. That usually tells me they lost buyer interest. But in this case, it proved me wrong, and it went up and retested that level. So this is kind of a weaker pullback. You'll see the stronger ones during the day. Or maybe during pre-market, we'll have a good one, hopefully in just a little bit. 7 o'clock is the next time we're probably going to have some news come out. It usually comes out at top of the hour. So there's no determined amount of pullback. It's not only penny stocks. We're set at 25 cents with no upper limit. It's just that mid cap and large cap stocks don't normally trade in pre-market unless they have news come out. But every now and then you'll see them pop in up here when they do. Thank you, Malik. Only post stock picks in here if they have volume moving. Always pay attention to this volume bar. If it's not flowing and every now and then somebody buys 100 shares, that's not a good one to post. Like to see this number continually moving, and then you post them in the chat because that's when we know there's activity. I don't see plug up here moving, but that doesn't mean it's not moving because these scans refresh every 5 minutes. Maybe yours will refresh before mine and you'll get a stock. But back to the volume thing, you see we're barely moving here. It could be a good pick. It could be building up steam. The buyers could be coming in, but it's not really flowing. How are you going to get in and out quickly if there's nobody to buy the shares you're selling? Andy, there's no way to do that in pre-market, because in pre-market, stocks usually don't have any volume unless somebody posts it somewhere and says, hey, y'all buy this, or unless news comes out. So volume in pre-market happens when news comes out or prior day repeat of a run up. Andy, we do have a unusual volume scan in TOS scans. And if you have that running during the day, when volume does take off for a stock, it'll jump to the top. So you may want to load that unusual volume scan, open it up in a watch list, and monitor it, see if it works for you. Thank you, Henco. VRCA. Not seeing it in my list. I'll put it up here and see what happens. When did that news come out on VRCA this morning? Yesterday? So when a stock pops up here, the eyeballs should immediately go to here, to this current bar volume. If this number's really flying, that's one to keep an eye on. This one, not so much. I can almost assure you, if it's not in my volume spike list and if it's not in your volume spike list, it's probably not a good one. Good job, David. If you haven't noticed, the better stocks are going to be at the top of these volume spikes, the top of these watch lists. Those will be the good choices. They'll climb right on up to the top. The more they're moving, and the more volume they start getting. It's okay to check the lower ones that have a momentum number. If they moved a little, they may be climbing up slowly. You might can get in closer to the bottom. BRSH still making its way up. It's already up 144%. So how far do you chance this stock? We have seen them go 1,000%. There's no way to determine that number. So the higher it gets, the higher the risk becomes. Thank you, Greg. You know, a lot of people don't realize if they share their knowledge, if you actually know something and and even if you don't think it's important, it is important to the next guy that's still learning. That's why it's always valuable for you to share your knowledge to someone else. That's what I'm doing here. I'm sure a lot of you are hearing things you never thought of, but yet they're common things to me. But they may not be so common to you. And that's why I opened these doors to help out a lot of people, because I knew I had many years of knowledge that I thought was common sense that is really helpful to someone that didn't know it. Greg, that is correct. I switch back and forth from momentum to volume spike. That volume spike is like the killer of all of these indicators. I don't think anything can outdo the volume spike because everything else was created off of it. But if you go back to the heart of the issue, this is it right here, this volume spike. It was the biggest breakthrough I've ever had. And you get to enjoy it. It was actually developed right here on this channel about 5 or 6 months ago. And then the migration knocked it out for a while, and I had to recreate it. But just when I thought it had it mastered, they changed something on the servers, and boom, it went away. But I got it. It's working again. Two stray dogs. Limit your scans to 100 or 50 on the display. You're not cutting out all the other stocks. You're only displaying 50. It's still seeking the entire list. And if they're moving, they'll come to the top. You don't have to worry about losing them. Just limit the scan display number down to 50 or 100. Mine works fine on 100, and I'm running about 15 scans. I can't watch them all at one time because I'd need 30-something monitors, but double dare you, are you sorted by momentum by clicking on the momentum name and bringing these numbers up to the top? The RSH continuing to climb. It's now up 170%. Double dare you. I believe I have an image also of my pre-market settings over in TOS scans. You may want to scroll down the page and find that image. So let's try not to turn this live stream into a support channel, because that's not what it's designed for. I'm here to teach you how these indicators work. So if you're having issues, post them over in support. And if you're there when I get through with this live stream, I'll help you. Most of the time, somebody posts a question and they don't ever reply back. And I don't know if I helped them or not. So if you post a question in support, check it for an answer later. Good job, Skits. You can see the profits in the chat room there on the right on YouTube. Keep in mind, these guys only found me no more than 6 months ago. They've already learned. They're already in the profits. You can do the same if you just participate every day. Have some guys that's only been here 2 weeks making money. Skits, that's not bad. It took me 67 years to get to where we are today. Look at it that way. Trump, I have no idea what DAS is. I'm using Active Trader, and I'm buying the ask and selling the bid, which are limit orders. Now, no, I haven't said it, but make sure your TIF is set to EXT so you can trade pre-market. If you haven't set up your computer to trade pre-market, there's a video on that and how-to videos on Discord. You do have to meet the requirements to trade pre-market, and I explain those settings in that video. I've been using ThinkorSwim so long, I don't go outside of ThinkorSwim for anything. It's kind of like I know every inch of this platform. I'm comfortable with what I do. I've been doing the same thing over and over and over. That's how you perfect something, is you never stop what you're doing. You perfect the system and keep perfecting it. That's why if you use this system, don't change when it's wrong. The system's not wrong, you are. Just correct the mistakes, stick with the same system, and continue forward. When you start changing strategies, changing this, changing that, watching other people's YouTube videos on how they trade, all you're doing is confusing yourself. Stick with one setup, perfect it, and you'll move up the ladder. They told me I'm not going to be able to upgrade until the spring, so I have a few months to go. I was hoping they could knock this out quick, but I think it's going to take them a year to convert everything over. It's a lot slower process than I thought. I've seen many people say they use a different platform because it executes faster. I never understood that point. What's a millisecond going to matter? I mean, you're going to lose it back just reaching over to the mouse button. All right, while it's slow, if you're new here, I am Ricky Gaspard. I'm a guy who trades from his home office. I've been trading since 1990. I'm also a ThinkScript coder, and I write my own scripts. The scripts you see up here on the screen, every one of them was written by me. They're not common TOS scripts that you can find. You must go to Discord to get them and load them. You probably found us on our YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to that YouTube channel, I'll post a link here in the chat. Watch my YouTube videos. You'll see the growth of this channel and this Discord. Like my videos, comment on my videos, let YouTube know that I'm doing a good job. It also lets me know that I'm doing a good job. Below each video in the description, you'll find a link to our Discord, and I'll post it here in the chat. But make sure you're subscribed to YouTube. That's where I make a few dollars to keep this system going for free. In Discord, head over to Start Here. That'll explain to you what's going on. Also review the how-to videos if you've never installed scripts, indicators, or scanners before. If after reviewing those videos you're still having issues, post us a question in support. Please do not direct message me your support questions. Don't post your support questions in every channel hoping that somebody's going to help you. If you post them over in support, we automatically know you need help, and we'll go over there to answer as soon as we're available. While you're in Discord, visit the Start Here channel. It'll explain Discord to you. You'll find all of these files over in Current Setup. That's always going to be the files that are the newest versions and the most profitable. So if you came here watching an older video and you can't find the indicators, it's probably because they've been upgraded to a newer version, and they will be located over in Current Setup. Make sure you visit our trading floor where we have Gregster and River Place Dad doing their due diligence on stock picks. And once you get good, you can also post your stock picks along right with them. I often sit in with them and trade a few of their stocks and post a few of my own. Also visit our options trader channel where we have It's Me Bob. His name is Bobby. He's really good at options. He gives instructional information. He also holds a live stream when he has enough participants. And he'll take you a little bit deeper into options. Make sure you don't spam any of the channels with your stock picks if you haven't done your due diligence, and definitely don't post entry and exit prices. We are not licensed to do so, and there is a big fine behind that. I have seen a couple of instances lately. I've sent out warnings, so please take them to heart. We don't want to get in trouble here. I don't want you getting in trouble. And that fine can exceed $250,000 if you're caught. We don't need to be facing those kind of issues, so don't post entry and exit prices, and don't spam the channels. Everybody doesn't trade like you do. We all have our own strategy. We know when to click our mouse button. So keep the post down to a minimum. It's okay to ask questions about something, but don't come in thinking you're a broker and you're licensed and you're going to post everything that you find. It doesn't work that way. You'll get a warning at first. The second time you'll probably get booted, but that's going to be on you. I just warned you. Never trade off of my screen. My screen is sometimes delayed, and delay could cost you money. So get set up on your own computer if you're going to trade this system. I highly suggest you do it on paper until you get familiar with it. Then once you think you know it, buy small share size to try it. Don't just throw your wallet at it. It don't work that way. You have to know. You need to learn these volume spikes, how they work, this momentum indicator, how it works. You need to understand volume thoroughly, and you need to understand price action. If you don't know what those are, if you don't know what support and resistance levels are, you don't know enough yet. So if you come here each morning, I'll explain everything that's going on. You eventually catch on because I repeat it over and over and over, and that's how you learn. I even learn things when I say it myself. It refreshes my memory, keeps me going strong, and it lets me know some of the mistakes I still occasionally make. So pay close attention to what's going on. Get it underneath your belt. Learn it good. Perfect it. Try it on paper if you're good. Move over to live trading. Thank you, everyone who joined us this morning, and we're waiting on a stock to pop up. It's Friday. Fridays are typically slow. Our next opportunity will be at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, or whatever time zone you're in. All we do each morning is wait on volume spikes. We watch the momentum indicator. There's only 3 stocks in the last 30 minutes that have been moving. So enjoy your coffee, sit back, relax, stress-free trading. We just wait on something to pop up and click the mouse button when it calls for that movement. HLP, I see you guys are on the ball. That's good. So we got one spike in here, HLP. We're not going to chase the green candle. We're going to wait on the pullback. So what I'm marking is support and resistance level. When this candle stops rising and they make a reversal, I'm going to put a resistance level up here. This stock should pull back a little bit for the next run up, and we're going to try to catch it on that next run up. You don't understand candles? This wick on the top are sellers trying to drive this price back down. This is not a good sign if you're looking to buy. We like the wicks on the bottom, not the top. So when this candle stops climbing, I will mark the resistance level. And when the red one comes in, I will mark the support level, and that's where we may get in or may not get in. It all depends on price action. I'm also watching these volume bars, these volume lines. Steadily going up. If you took your chance on chasing green candles, you're doing good right now. Don't let me talk you out of it. It's just the way I do not trade. And I think a lot of you have learned your lessons on chasing them because a lot of you have posted, I shouldn't have done it. Just like that, if you'd have bought that candle up here, here we are, we're down at the bottom again. All wicks on the top are bad news. Still waiting on this stock to reverse. I think we're going to see it here. If this red candle pulls down, I will mark this resistance line. We only may get a short red candle if the buyers are stronger than the sellers, but if you look down here, the sellers are coming in really strong. So I will mark this resistance level here. We are getting a pullback to here. Let's see if we get a bounce. This is where your entry would be. Let's wait on a green candle. I'll make it a little bit bigger for you. We should bounce back up to this line or maybe even higher. If it drops below this line, selling. So don't just jump in at support. even though it's the entry point. Wait for confirmation for this stock to turn around. We may be turning around here for the next run up, and it's going to go up, it looks like. It'll probably break through. If it doesn't break through, which it did, this works almost every time, folks. Pay attention. This was the support that I called out as the entry level. You could play this green candle. Not much money between these two lines, but that's how how a pullback works. Now we're running into resistance. So we had a strong initial start, but not enough buying interest to keep it up. So if you did get in down here and it was up here and you saw this red candle coming in, you would immediately got out because it's going to pull back. These two lines mean a lot. Resistance means it can't break through. Support means there's more buyers sitting there waiting to drive it up. Doesn't mean that it's over. We could retest support down here before the higher run. It's still not over. We're still watching it at this point. So if you see, this is a support level. It has not broken through it. So it's not selling off. They could drive it back up on through. They're going to try again to get it through that resistance level. At this point, I would probably wait for the breakthrough since it's having trouble. What we need is this seller line to drop down and this green line to turn up. We're retesting for the breakthrough. I see the seller line dropping down. This candle needs to close above this line for it to be a breakthrough of resistance. It did not close through it. Thank you, Trump. Once you learn this, you're pretty much on your way. It's all in the strategy, not in your head. The strategy has to set up. If it doesn't set up, you're going to lose money because you're guessing. This is why you wait for the strategy to set up. It failed and it's pulling back. They're now tired of trying to drive it up and they're starting to pull out. Yes, you could have made money if you would have got lucky chasing the green candles, and some of you probably did. But then you realized, uh-oh, it stopped, and it's going to pull back. A good, strong stock that's going to make you a lot of money is the ones that meet the strategy. Thank you, GMAC. One day, one of you will be holding these live streams, and I would love to see that. Someone step up to the plate, say, Mr. Gaspard, you can take this day off. I'll do it. That's how good and confident I want you to be. Good morning, Jimmy. Well, I'm a scalper. I don't use stop losses. If I'm wrong, I just get out, and I get out quickly. If I click the mouse button and that next candle's not green, that means I may be wrong. So I'll be closely watching. If it goes opposite of what I thought, I'm immediately out. When scalping, I don't have time to go set a stop loss. I'm only going to be in for a minute or less. Maximum a couple of minutes. But I never take my eyes off the screen when I'm in a trade. My eyes and my mouse are my stop loss. Trump, you will get to that point if you're here every day. I assure you, you will get there. Just don't change. Stick with the plan. Don't go astray. Listen to me over and over and over. Repeat the same thing over and over and over. Your subliminal mind will take it into account and absorb it. Occasionally, you may see me chase green candles, and at that point, you should realize he's not following his own rules. And that's true, I'm not. But if I see something, I'm going to take it. But that comes through many years of experience. It's rarely that I do, but sometimes I do. Trump, that's exactly right. I made the same mistakes as everyone in here did. So I started out just like you, losing money, winning a whole bunch and losing more than I won. When you're winning, you think you figured it out and you lose. The unpredictable market's what I like to call it. And unless you have a system or strategy that you have perfected, you're going to struggle. Just like options, Bobby has perfected his system. He doesn't change. He sticks with it. And I'm sure he's telling you to do the same thing. This is what you need to look for. This is what you need to do. It's all about one strategy and perfecting it. GNS. Another cheaper stock here. I'm going to back out of it a little bit. It's already made one run up this morning at our market open. It may be getting a second wind here. Do I chase this? No, I don't. I've learned my lesson. If it's strong and a lot of buyers are coming in, it'll drive it up and pull back down and go up again. This could just be some people hoping it goes up. And now they're losing money. These are the mistakes I was making. Oh, here it goes. I'm in. I lost. The volume is low as well. It's not flowing. Remember I said high volume flow. This is not high volume flow. And you can tell right here. That's why I developed this label. You can see the sellers over here. So let me tell you why we don't have the volume bars here while the market is kind of cold. That's a good choice of words. I got rid of the volume bars because determining how tall a bar was or what color a bar was didn't help me much because I could not determine the number of buyers and sellers. So I converted the volume bars over to this label. So we have the pre-market volume, the last bar volume, which would be the candle prior to this one. And we have the current bar volume, which is this candle. This is the overall volume of the stock. So I created this label a while back to tell us if there was more buyers or more sellers in the current volume. Well, this worked out fine, but I could not remember if there was more buyers or sellers over a period of time. So I converted the volume over to these two volume lines. This way I can see the past history of the volume, how the buyers were cooperating or how the sellers were cooperating to determine if this is worth me buying or not. So if you watch the buying and selling volume here, it tells you what you need to know before you get in. You can see the buyers started buying, but the sellers chased it back and brought it right back down. You can tell that story in these two lines. This indicator up here is also monitoring this first candle. It's bearish. If this candle becomes bullish, you'll see it here. It'll turn green. When this volume spike indicator goes off and you see these percentages rising, we look for a crossover of the moving averages. This is a 5 EMA. This is a 13. This is a 34. I added it manually. And these are exponential moving averages. So we get a spike, we check the volume. If the volume is flying, then we check that we got a crossover and you see these arrows pop in. These arrows are volume spike indicators coming off of this indicator here. It's letting you know that yes, the buyers are present. There's no red arrows above it. Until you get up here to the top, I think there's one way up there, a red arrow pops in. And the stock starts pulling back. So we get a volume spike. We look at the current bar volume. If it's flowing with high flow, we have the crossover and the spike arrows. You see green up here and green down here. You look at these lines to see if you want to get in or not, and that's how you become successful. I know it seems to you now, if you're new here, that that's a lot to look for, but it's really not. Once you get this under your thinking cap, you will realize really quick it's spiking, it's crossed over, green, green, I'm looking here and I'm in or out. It becomes real quick and not complicated at all. But you have to come here every morning and look at it over and over and over. Even I'm still learning these indicators. The oldest one is 6 months old. Of course, I coded them, so I know how they work. It's a little bit easier for me, but you did not code them. You don't know how they work unless you come here and watch. But they're very good setup. And keep in mind, I get stuck on these indicators. This indicator took forever to develop, even the swing indicator that's coming out Sunday. So I say my prayers and ask for answers from above, and then all of a sudden an answer will come, and things start working. I'm known to overthink things, and I'm sure some of you may have that problem. And when you start overthinking, you start running into issues. That's my main problem. I'm always stretching out to complete something. And if I can't complete something, I start thinking harder, and the next thing I know, I'm overthinking. But I got the breakthrough. The prayers were answered, and we've all been blessed. Good morning, OT. I see a high spike number here, but this number is not moving. We probably do have a big green candle, but it may just be a single purchase. It could be an institution came in. It could just be somebody bought 1,000 shares when there was no volume. And his purchase made a big green candle. That doesn't mean the buyers are here, because look at the volume. It's not moving. Andy, I don't know. It's probably this same spike here that's reflecting in this stock. It's also on the SPY. Maybe it's a computer reboot. Who knows? I don't know. I wished I knew, but I don't know. So once you learn all of this, you're probably going to realize, man, this guy made me buy more monitors. That's going to happen to you, I promise you. You're going to realize that you need to watch more than just one chart. It's not necessary to do it if you're learning. I like to say earn it, then buy those monitors. If you're making money, then you deserve those monitors. So you upgrade after you learn and you're profitable. Pay for them with your trading first. If you earned them, you deserve them. We blew right past 7 o'clock. No activity whatsoever. I've been watching. Typical Friday. If we don't get a stock, you still learn something. Knowledge is money. STTK is right here. I'm not seeing a volume spike. If I click on it, there's probably no volume. Now it's kicking. Low volume. Could be a pullback here. But the volume's too low for me to be interested. There's your resistance level right up here where it turned around. Right here is your support level. If it bounces, it could give you 40 cents or 36 or 32 or 10 cents or a nickel. All depends on your entry and how high it goes. So we're struggling at 786, 736, I mean. Daily trailer, that's a good statement. Might want to frame that one. Volume flow. Watching the price, waiting on a pullback. Hopefully the volume stays there. Cheaper stock, 36 cents. Man, this is a penny stock month here. Waiting to see if this candle pulls back. It may just pull back a little bit before more buyers come in. I'm watching the volume lines. I don't like this seller here. We don't have a bullish signal up here. So we did get a minor pullback here. It's not very good. I don't play penny stocks. You may want to play them, but I don't. I like something with some meat behind it. High volume. I like gaining those 50 cent and dollar per shares, not nickels and dimes. Of course, I do take an occasional dime, but I prefer 50 cents and a dollar gain. The volume did die off on this stock. That's why we don't just jump in. Another high number here on SEDG, but it's not rising. Watching the one in the number one position, another penny stock pick. We don't have the volume flow. Looks like they're starting to come in. Waiting to mark this candle. I will not mark it until I see a red one pulling back beside it. And I see a tiny one there. Right there. Volume is very low. Probably not a good stock play in my opinion. Of course, it's not a good stock play in my opinion because it's too cheap. But that don't mean you can't make money on it if you're a penny player. It's just that I don't play them. GMAC, do you have V4 or V6 loaded? It's included in the script. It should be coming up. You may want to reload it again. We did get a pop-up here. Don't know where it came from with no volume. Maybe somebody else thought it was going up. You can see how fast they sold off on him. So he's probably wondering where his money went. Looks good down here as far as buyers and sellers. It could continue to run. Other people are now finding it. The volume is increasing a little. It's also in the number one position, as I mentioned earlier. Currently bearish. I shouldn't mark a red candle on a pullback. That usually means they're going to sell it off. You can see the sellers outnumbering the buyers here, the red line above the green. They're trying to keep it up. Can they do it? I'll mark it out if this candle closes and see where it goes. My guess is it's going down. Volume is dying on this stock. Going to sell off, it looks like. On to the next one. So far, it's been a Friday morning of penny stock bouncers. That's what it's been. Hopeful stocks, but not strong stocks. A few of you made a few dollars off of one of them. Forgot what the symbol was, BRSX or something like that. So keep in mind, I'm doing this for free. We're reaching out to everyone. I like helping people. Once you learn this, I hope that you pay it forward as well and start helping people. Or at least bring them here and I'll help them. We run strictly on donations. If I helped you out and you're making money, then you make the decision if you want to donate to the cause. I think it's a very good system to not charge, but it takes donations to keep us going. And at this time, I'd really love to thank you for all of the contributions that you members have made through the last few months. Patreon members signing up for a monthly subscription, which is not mandatory. You can actually choose your own price on Patreon. You'll find the link to that in Discord. If I've done you some good, pay it forward. Help me keep the channel going. I've spent a lot of money getting this up here for you to give it away. It's going to take me a while to recover what I've spent to do this. If you feel like you want to only make a one-time donation, you can do that in the chat box down there on YouTube. Just click the square with the $sign on it and then click on Super Chat. If you feel like donating, name your price. I don't care if it's $1. I don't care what you donate. Every little bit counts. And it helps me keep this free service going. Once you learn, over on Discord, everybody is support. Once you learn, jump in there and help me out. If I can't get to somebody and you know the answer, you're welcome to give him an answer and help him along his way or her. Everybody does everything on Discord. There's not one person dominant over the other. We all started at the bottom. We're all going to finish at the top. And we're all professional traders. If you don't believe you are, just hang around here and we'll see if we can make you prove yourself different. Knowledge is king, and the king lives upstairs. I'm a sheep, he's my shepherd. He said, give it away. I'm giving it away. I've been well blessed. Now I'm blessing others, and look where we are. Thank you, Lewis, for that donation. Greatly appreciated, brother, and may you have a blessed and profitable day. You're very welcome. So I make very little money on YouTube without your support. To tell you how very little it is, we're going on 7 months for $1,300. I'm hoping it gets much higher than that. I think I mentioned yesterday, me and the wife got together. I'm $13,000 in the hole to bring you this free information. Do I mind? Not at all. because I know I'll get blessed for doing what I've done. It's called giving. Giving is much better than receiving. Once you start giving, you start receiving. Thank you, AT, for your donation. Greatly appreciate you, and God bless. Slow Fridays. They're always this slow. Our money days are Tuesday through Thursday. Sometimes we have a good Monday. Mondays are usually slow start from everybody, I guess, partying over the weekend. They're not thinking clearly yet. But sometimes we have a good Monday, but Tuesday through Thursday are usually the better days. Thank you, Shawnee, for your contribution to help us keep the ball rolling. Greatly appreciated, and God bless you. Buster, I really enjoy this. It's nothing I regret. I don't mind giving up a few of my hours of my time. I enjoy it. It keeps people learning. It keeps me refreshed. Some of the things I say pop in my head, and I forgot that I knew what I just said, if you can understand that point. Like, oh, I should say this. It's important. So I also teach myself as I'm teaching you. Thank you, RD, for your donation. Greatly appreciate you. Double dare you, I might consider that, but doesn't crypto trade on volume, or is it slow volume and these indicators don't work? I mean, when you get down into low volume things like the futures, it's kind of hard for me to create something for them when they're just barely moving. It's actually even hard for me to create an indicator for Tesla. Tesla has a lot of volume, but the share size is tiny. Like, give me 5 shares of Tesla, give me 10. It's hard for my indicators to look at 5 or 10 shares as a volume spike in Tesla. Now, they may have 10,000 people buying 5 shares or 100,000 people buying 5 shares. But we're watching price action and volume, and if there's not enough share size there, then these indicators won't work. So that's why I struggle with Tesla. I don't know if I'll ever whip that one just because of the share size that's traded. So crypto, if it doesn't have a lot of volume, I'm a volume price action guy, then probably can't touch crypto because I don't know how to program it. Thank you for the kind comments, everybody. I love Mara. That stock has made me a lot of money through the years. If you don't have MARA in your personal watch list, You're leaving money behind. I play Riot as well. There's just some stocks you don't take off your list. I remember just a while back, Mara was down in the $7 range, $7.50. And now I believe, I don't know what it is today. Is it $15, $16, $17? And it's been pulling back and up. Can really give you 50 cents to $1 a day, sometimes $2. Good morning, Dippy. That's right, David. I'm really shocked CCCC is not moving. It's been moving all week. Great possibility we could see an afternoon run on this stock, maybe market up and run. So just remember, not all mornings are profitable mornings, but you're still going to get some valuable information. Even if we don't get a stock play today that was really worth it. Some of you already made money and made it worth it. Some of us didn't. In fact, the majority of us didn't. I haven't made a trade this morning because I don't trade penny stocks. But even if we don't get a trade, you're still learning. Come here and keep learning. Just throw that boredom word away and come watch, come listen, come learn. Help me keep this channel going. Hit the like button for me if you don't mind. It keeps my ratings up on YouTube, helps more people find us. And the more of us looking at the same stock, the better the performance of that stock when we all pull the trigger. Watching the percentages just in case something pops up. Nothing moving yet. Thank you, Role Playing, for your contribution. Really appreciate it, and God bless you. Thank you, Rock V, for your donation. And God bless you as well. Yeah, I'm watching the SPY. It's dropping. It's a typical Friday for sure. Watching the spikes come in, but they're not moving. That one's moving. Uh-oh, hit the wrong button. Come on, fumble fingers. ATAK, this is in my price range. I'm going to wait on a pullback. I don't see a lot of volume. I'm also looking here. Maybe it's going to come up for us. I'm not going to just jump in. I need a lot more volume. These are the kind of stocks that can pay you $1 or $2. Even if you just bought 10 shares, learn to play these higher price stocks. Build that account up and buy 20 shares, 100 shares, work your way up. Volume is not good. I'm not entering unless other buyers come in and find it. I see the seller line moving up. Keep in mind, these are not moving averages. These are volume, buyers and seller volume. We did get a slight pullback. Let's check it out, see what happens. We need buyers, though. We don't have the buyers yet. There is a big spread. And don't try to click that button when the spread drops, because the minute you click the button, it jumps right back up there. There was a small pullback under low volume. Now you don't even know what to do because we're stuck in the middle. So low volume, probably not going to be a good trade. $6 a.m. right here. Was up there at $40. That doesn't mean it's not going to slow play back up to 22, 25. Usually when a stock sells off that hard, it has a very slow bounce back up. But usually they don't play out very long. 59-cent spread. It is inching its way up. That means Trader 22 bought some shares. I'm just kidding, 22. One share. Hey, one is better than none, correct? I'm thinking 100 is the number. 100 shares times $1 is $100. So you see it triggered here. We marked it down here at $19. It's almost at 22.60, 50 on very low volume. The problem is you buy 100 shares. How are you going to get out? May see a pullback here to 20.56. Man, my mouse is sensitive this morning. They were back down to 20.56. So there was a $1.50 loss right there, that easy. But now we are at a support level. Let's zoom in. Let's watch it. Watching volume. It's still no volume there. But we're probably going to bounce from 20.50 to 22.58. But the spread would take a lot of that away from you when the spread's high. This is not a good stock play. I'm having fun watching it though. It's like the platform is wanting to make money, but not the people. That was a nice bounce up there for a couple of bucks from the bottom. $0.30 spread, 40, 89. It's tricky. It's trying to grab that money from you. 22.48, only 5, but you would have had to been faster than lightning to catch that one. Might be willing to pay the 30 cents to gain $1. Looks like the buyer volume is coming in. Well, it was coming in. Good job, Dupree. Probably going to pull back to 22.58 and retest that support zone. Intact trading, I always stay on limit orders. Buy the ask, sell the bid. That's my quickest way in and out. We did pull back to 22.58. So if we had the volume, that would be a good entry level here. Let's mark another level. I just wish the buyers would come in and make this thing happen. Good job, Dupree. You plan those entries down at those support levels, you can make a few cents or dollars. Thank you, G-Mac. That's how you learn, brother. You keep reviewing and keep reviewing and keep reviewing. That's why I always say watch the older videos. They all contain valuable information. Joel, if you just touch your mouse pointer on them, a little bubble will pop up telling you what they are. You can click on them and read the comment. That's a hard drop right there. That's why you don't do low volume stocks at this price range. That was a couple of dollars lost, whoever was hanging on. So you can see we're not just penny stocks. When the good ones pop up, they end up in the list. Not seeing it in my list anywhere. That doesn't mean it's not moving. That just means my scan may not have refreshed before yours. Mara looking good. Let's see if they got the volume yet. They do not. Let's back out a little bit. It is in a downward trend. It is slowly coming down. You can see the red line is above the green. And this is what I'm telling you about the angle. You see the angle will make you think the price is going up, but that's not the case. This is volume increasing and the price is dropping. Don't ever judge the price by the angle of these lines. Higher selling, lower selling, higher buying, lower buying. This is a wonderful indicator. Learn how to use it. It'll make you some money. Thank you, David, for that useful information. Beverly, yes, it is. MDV, you can find everything on this screen on our Discord. And yes, Discord is free as well. You come here each morning and listen to me tell this story over and over and over. I actually can tell a story about price action and volume. And you'll eventually be telling yourself that same story. You'll be repeating it in your head. This is what the buyers are doing. This is what the sellers are doing. This is going up. This is a pullback. These are support and resistance lines. What the candle wicks mean. Talk yourself through it. Once everything lines up, then that's when you make your decision to pull the trigger or not. Mark, I've made everything you see on this screen. Everything is my coding except for these moving averages. And they're only here for confirmation. I could actually take them off and we could trade by this volume spike and this dominator. Of course, we have to have this label as well because it's our volume. You are welcome, Beverly. So the reason I have multiple monitors is I'm watching the 1 minute chart. I'm watching the 15-minute chart. I'm also watching the 133 tick chart. When everything lines up, that's when I pull the trigger. When this strategy sets up and I look around at the other charts, it gives me confirmation before I click the mouse. You can get tick charts in ThinkorSwim. You can go right here to get on this gear icon, favorite time frames, add a time frame, and tick is right here. And then you add it to your time frame list. And then it will be available when you click this 1 minute up here. You'll see the tick here, just like mine. Intact trading, if you put the 5 and 13 EMA on the tick chart and play the crossovers on that tick chart, that's how I plan my entry and exit points. Very useful with the 5 and 13 EMA on a tick chart. A lot of people like using version 2 that's over in TOS scripts on the tick chart, but I prefer the 13 and the 5 EMA. $133 is pretty fast, especially on high volume. If it's too fast for you, drop down to the 233. It does take experience to learn how to use that 133. Much easier on 233, but more accurate on the 133. GRTR, everybody's screaming GRTR. I'm not seeing it on mine. Yeah, I do. It's right here. GETR, not GRTR. Another penny stock moving. Volume is kind of flowing. This would be the resistance level. If this red candle closes, that'll be support. I'm not liking the activity of this stock. When you have tiny, tiny candles like this in between, that's not good. There's the bounce back up. Don't know where support was for it though. So we're up at resistance, bouncing off of it. I can change this one over to high flyers for you. There's only one on high flyers this morning. It's VRCA. This is not really a pre-market scan. We are in pre-market. This stock is taking off. It's a penny stock. We didn't get a clean pullback on it. It's a guessing game at this point. It's only gained 3 cents. That big old green candle is only 3 pennies. Keep that thought. That's why I don't trade them. So high flyers works better after market opens. This is a very reliable, and it's clicking away. Let's see what we got. VRCA making a move up. Got to watch the volume. That's where I always head, is to this current volume bar to see if there's more people than just a few driving this stock up. Going to wait on a pullback because we don't know where the top is. It could be right there. And the volume died. So that would be resistance. Here comes the pullback or the sell-off. Very volatile. Not enough volume for me to click the buy button. 12,000 shares traded on the last candle. That's not enough. Only 8 cents between those resistance and support levels, and it is going to bounce back up. It's not a good one just by looking at the volume to me, and that's why right there. People looking for anything that's moving on Fridays. They try to force a play, and they end up red on Friday. High volume pullbacks, price action. Kind of feel like we're fishing in the goldfish pond this morning. Tiny, tiny fish stealing our bait. Thank you, Susan, for that donation. Really appreciate you, sister, and God bless. Okay, it's 8 o'clock, guys. I'm going to take a 10-minute break here. The market's dead. Continue watching the volume spike, or go take a break. Go get you some coffee. Stretch your legs. It's usually dead between 8 and 8:30. Very rarely do we have a stock pop up at that time. So I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
been on the right path and has been trying their best to learn and be a part of this. I commend you. I appreciate you. And I thank you for being here. I'm going to let you guys go with that because I have to go into work already. So I will talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, Bob. We appreciate everything you do. Sometimes we need a little bit of tough love, so please take his word seriously. If you didn't know, that fine is upwards of $250,000 if you get caught. So we really have to stick by the rules. Sometimes we need a little tough love, and that was a little tough love, but we have to do what we have to do. Better that you learn the system than for somebody just to say buy here and sell here. You don't learn anything that way. That's why I do it the way I do. Make it a course. Goes back to the give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for the rest of his life. And that's the system I live by. So just a little compliance and we move forward and keep on going and wait for the next stock pick. We'll be changing over to open market at 8:30 in about 8 minutes. I'll be changing the scans. That's about all we do at market open. And we'll be waiting for volume spikes. It'll become very volatile in this column. But we're going to be watching the first 2 or 3 at market open and the first 2 or 3 down here. This scan will disappear. I'll be putting the 50-minute momentum scan. This one looks back 30 minutes. The next one's going to look back 50 minutes. Be careful of the sell-off on Friday. That's going to happen no matter what. You may not even get a play at market open. It may be so volatile we can't decide which one is which. Hopefully you're watching the stocks that moved this morning, which I don't know if there is none worth watching, but you can watch Mara, maybe Riot, maybe CCC, maybe Getter, who knows, GETR. So as I see them come up here in the watch list column, I'll be calling them out, trying to get the pullbacks on plays on them, but it may not happen. Hopefully it does. Maybe we'll get blessed. We'll see at market open. Right now, it's hurry up and wait. Trader 22, I'm going to hand you my money. Nobody has to know. How many times have you heard that one? It's still a fine. Sonia, he was just addressing that people were wanting entry and exit prices, and we're not licensed brokers. We're not allowed to do that. I often say every time I take a break, buy everything that pops up because it's going to go up, and make sure you're out before I come back. Because that's when it comes down. This is what Trader 22 just profited from. I don't know if y'all were watching CCC, but he saw something pop up or he wouldn't have known. Trading pennies, you mean you listen to someone else? How dare you? I'm just kidding. I learned from many people too. I don't know about you guys. You act like my brothers and sisters, that's for sure. Are you talking about the dominator, Jerry, the one down here? Let's see if I can find my mouse. I'll point to it right here. Is that the one you're talking about? Got to make it quick. We're going to be changing scans here. Thank you, Trading Pennies, for your donation. Greatly appreciated, brother, and God bless you. Jerry, are you talking about the line volume down here? So this is not moving averages, it's actually volume. This is low volume in the indicator. Up here is higher volume. These are representation of the buyers. This volume is representation of the sellers. So as the line is moving up, the buyers are coming in and the volume is increasing. This red line is also moving up, so they're taking profit as that price is moving up. So they're kind of chasing the green line. We like to see this red line laying low and the buyers keep coming in and getting stronger. Now you see the buyers losing interest. The sellers are still here. They're not selling. It's laying flat, so the volume has kind of slacked off. So we wait for the end of these lines to turn up. Hopefully the green one turns up if you're buying and the red one turns up if you're shorting. So it's basically looking at volume visibly in a line, and you get to see the history behind the volume instead of just watching a volume bar. Very good way to look at volume because you can see there's more sellers than buyers, and then the price takes off. But the angle of these lines is not representation of the angle of the price. This just means low volume and high volume, not direction as far as looking at price. I'm going to go ahead and switch our scanners over here. We're going to go to the 50-minute up here, if I can find it. Right there. So now we're looking 50 minutes back. There's nothing in the number one position. That's typical for Friday. Down here, we're going to put the high flyer scan. If you don't know about this scan, the moving averages are stacked. And what I mean by that is the 5 is above the 13 is above the 21 is above the 34, and the price is above the 5. That's the stocks you're going to find in this scan and in this watch list. They're not going to be as volatile as these stocks up here. They're a lot safer play. They slowly climb. You still need to play your pullbacks, but your pullbacks are going to have much shorter red candles on the pullbacks. Your entry on these stocks in this scan will be the small red candles. If you get a large red candle, that means that it's selling off in this column. So watch this stock throughout today, this scan. It's very powerful. Maybe not so much today because it's Friday, but these two levels, the first one and the second one, when you see a stock spiking here, it's time to take notice and see what's going on. Up here, it's going to be a guessing game. It's going to be very volatile. The better stocks will be up here at the top 1 through 4, 1 through 3. I don't know how many we'll get today. I'll be clicking on them and looking at them on the chart. If I see them running up, I'm not going to chase the green candles. I'm going to mark out the resistance and the support level and try to get a play on the support level. If I don't get one, we move on to the next stock. If you like one and you want to continue watching it, I may change my screen, make sure it's on your computer so you can continue monitoring it. If you see one you want to look at maybe later, put it in your personal watch list so you can keep track of it. But we'll see how it goes at market open. We have about 2.5 minutes to go. Hopefully we'll get a good play this morning. Might be CCCC, who knows? This is here. It is holding a price level. I like to see stocks that hold their levels. So we're up here. Here's our resistance right here. I'm not going to mark it support because it's going to change at market open. This stock could sell off at market open and bounce for a bigger run up. Watch out for halts. I like to use the 10% rule. Whenever this stock opens up, whatever that price is, always apply 10% to it. So if it's a dollar stock, it's going to halt around $1.10, $1.12. If it's a $5 stock, it may halt at $5.50. So if you can be out at 8 or 9%, you can safely avoid the halt. If you like getting stuck in halts, which I don't, then just hang on for the ride. But chances are you could lose your money on the resumption of that stock. Take a look at STTK here. This could bounce at open. Did sell off quite a bit though. Just have to watch it. I'll put it in my list to keep an eye on it. This was a play earlier during the week. It could do a continuation on Friday. It's possible. See CCC here in the high flyers. Let me see what I could put over here. I think I built something last night I wanted to check on. Yeah, right here, breaking pre-market high. That's a course I'm trying to put together. So you mark out your pre-market high and your low. And usually when a price breaks the pre-market high, it takes off. So good luck. I'll explain that to you later. Let's monitor the market for now. CCCC really flying here. Could go right into a halt. I'm not going to chase it. I'm going to wait on the pullback. Very strong run up at the bell. I mean, it took off like a rocket. So let's see if we can get them to take a little bit of profit, plan our entry. That was about a 20-something cent run right at the market. You can see the sellers taking profits. That doesn't mean they're selling off. That means they're collecting. Waiting on a pullback. I want it to pull back. I want some people to take money out of this stock, drive it back down so I get a better entry price. Don't want to buy it up here. Could be a next red candle. Looks like a good candidate for a pullback. You look down here at these volume lines, look at these buyers. You see the sellers. These are the profit takers trying to take their profits. I want to see this red line come up. Probably going to get a pullback here. There it comes. Be ready for the bounce. The support level will be your entry, providing we get a green candle. I need this red one to close. It may be short. It closed. This is where the bounce will occur. There's the spike arrow. Right on back up there. This is where you take profit, right up in this zone here. for a beautiful play. It works every time, just about. Not every time, but we're up in the 90, 80, 90% profit range when you play this play. This is where you take profit. That's how fast it can happen. That's why I say sometimes I'm only in a trade for a minute. Once you perfect this, you hit them hard. Good job, Broke Joe. So wasn't that beautiful? You heard me call out every inch of that candle. There always is a second time pullback. So let's play the next one. Now we're waiting on the profit takers to come back in. I'll mark a resistance level up here and mark another support level on the red candle when it closes. These are all the people that's trying to buy the top candle. They're going to give up some profit here. Let's see if we get a pullback right here. Should have some profit takers right here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can watch it. May not get much of a pullback on this one, but it should be another pop up to the top. Or we could just run into resistance right here and sit there for a while. Nice little pullback. Need this candle to close. We're taking a little more profit than I like. Should be closing any second now. There it is. Let's see if we can pop back up here and go retest 617. I'm watching volume. You got to always watch volume too. It's still looking good. It's not over yet. If we drop down, that's when you got to cut your losses, okay? Looking good still. This is our entry here. Showing weakness. I don't know if I would trust it any further than this. Probably best to bail for this second run if you got in, and that was correct. JW, yes, all of these scans are on Discord. So we got the first pullback. We did not get the second one. It did try to pull up on the second one. That's where you got to be really cautious. This is where experience comes in. This is where attending these meetings every morning comes in. Once you see it weakening and pulling back down to support when you thought it was going up, it's probably best just to get out. So that was pretty. I liked the way it happened. It did work the first time, did not work the second. But we do this play over and over and over. Now we're looking red here. The SPY is pulling back. It's Friday. Everything is selling. We could get a play here in high flyers again. May get a bounce here. You got to keep your eye on it. I would not trust it at this point unless it broke through 601. If we break through 601, I want to see it come up, come back down and retest 601 before the next run up. So we're not buying this. We're not chasing it. We want to see a breakthrough and a return back down to it before the next bounce up. So we're breaking through 601. We need this candle to close and then a retest of 601 before it runs up to 617. Heed these words of wisdom. This is where you learn, okay? Pound it in your brain. This is why I said we wait for the breakthrough, because it failed. STTK, let's take a look at it. STTK is spiking here. We're going to wait for resistance. We already have a level set here from previous trading. Let's see if we get a pullback here. If we do, I'll set the pullback, which will be the support zone. There's the pullback. We need this candle to close. This is about a 15-cent bounce. If it bounces, it may sell off. Waiting for this candle to close. You can see the sellers. I'm watching down here as well. I'm seeing the sellers increasing. May not get a bounce. That is the support zone from 702, and it sold off. So we didn't get tricked. We didn't lose any money. I'm seeing VRCA here. It may move. It is in a pullback already, but this would be the resistance level here, not here. It tried to break through resistance, and now it's coming back down below it. Going to continue going up a little more, it looks like. The wick, the bigger wick is on the bottom. These are buyers trying to keep it up. Wicks on the bottom are good. Wicks on the top are not. Should get a bounce here upwards. And it failed. We could have a pullback happening here. Let's see if we get a pullback out of it. We need this candle to close. Buyers are strong. They keep driving it right back up to resistance. It may not be a good pullback for a pullback play. They may just run it right on up if we don't get this candle to close down lower. Buyers are really strong. They're not letting it die. You can see it indicated down here. This is why this is the greatest volume you'll ever see right here, and there they come. Now we're going up above 475. Right on up. You could have taken an entry down here. I did not mark it because it didn't have a good pullback. But the indication was the wick on the bottom, the buyers are driving it up. They're still holding it. The buyers are still in command here. Sellers are trying to come in. This is where you're going to judge. It's not going to go. Can you tell we're getting a wick on the top? It's not going to go. Probably going to come back down and retest 475. Now the sellers are slacking off. They're tired of fighting the battle. Sellers are stepping back in. I think we're going to retest 475 before the next run up. That's my thoughts. I could be wrong. Sellers are coming up. There's the retest of 475. We may see a bounce off of this level or sell off. Let's see if we can pull up from here or go down. If we go down, it's over. So we're in a struggling battle, no entry here. When they both lay horizontal like this, they're pretty much giving up. We want the nose of this green one to be pointing up. It is slightly. Too bouncy to make an accurate call on getting in. Buyers are sure trying. Nice strong angle. Now we're laying flat again. Pulling back down to 475. We got wicks all over the place, tops and bottom. It's a real struggle. This is where you don't throw your money away right here. One side or the other needs to give up. Kind of like watching a sports game or a dog race, right? Oh, he's winning, he's losing, he's winning, he's in third, he's in fourth, he's in first. Volatility is not good to trade in. JW, that is V4. V is in Victor. Located in current setup. It's the step number 1. These support and resistance levels, I'm setting them myself. They are not automatic. I prefer to do it myself, not rely on a guess from the scripts. More accurate doing it myself. You can get these lines in your drawing tools. It's the second one on the right here. You click that one, it puts a pencil on your indicator. You can right click and go to properties and make this a dotted line. Change the color and save it as your default line. We may go up here now. Looks like the buyers are winning this battle. The sellers are laying flat, slight angle on the green. I'm going to say we're going to have resistance right here. So unless we break it, come back down and retest it, we don't want to enter. Don't ever chase the green ones. Wait on it to curve back down and retest 491. Going to give up on VRCA. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. We're probably going to be fighting this battle for a little bit. I'm looking at Mara on my other chart. It's failing as well. This is Friday. Keep that in mind, okay? CCC did sell off. We did get that play right here. Nothing breaking pre-market high or low. That's this new scan. And really, I don't even know if this is triggering. I'm going to have to check it throughout the day. Shouldn't have very many stocks here. But when we get one, it should be a good short or a good long. See you later, Broke Joe. Have a blessed weekend, brother. BRCA, I clicked the wrong thing again. Quit doing that. BRCA still struggling in that zone. Probably pretty much over for that one. So if you've been watching the market with us for some time, you know everything's going to start dying around 9 o'clock to 9:30. The volume gets very low, almost dormant. And that's when I give up trading. Try to make all your money in pre-market, but not on Fridays. Tuesday through Thursday, you should be able to make enough money if we have enough stocks to choose from. Make your profits before the market even opens and you don't have to fight this battle. With millions of people trying to drive one up or down, pre-market's not like that. It's a lot easier trading in pre-market. That guy holding 50,000 shares is not sitting there in pre-market to drive it down like he is over when the market is open. We'll probably have another burst of energy here soon. Not seeing anything in high flyers. You can see VRCA is pulling back. SPY is down a little bit. It's not dropping drastically. It's consolidating down around 469. CCCC struggling down there at the bottom, bouncing between support and resistance at the lower levels. BRCA made it to the slow crawler, not the slow crawlers, the high flyers, and it's number 2. That's showing strength. It may start trickling up slowly throughout the day. If it leaves this scan, the party's over. Yes, Robert, there will be. It's already made. I'm just waiting on Sunday. I'm ready to go with it. BRCA testing resistance again. Number one in high flyers. That means the moving averages are stacked and the price is above the 5 as displayed on the screen. It is showing strength, but we need it to break 491. Then we need it to come down and retest 491. Robert says GMBL is flying. Let's take a look. It's not on my chart. And it'll probably pop up right in front of me. Nope, it's not there. Well, it was moving. Very cheap stock. A penny. Not interested. BVN made a nice run up. Don't know why we didn't pick that one up. Maybe one of you had it on your radar. BRCA still hasn't broke through 491. IOVA on the run up. I got it out of high flyers. Let's see if we can get a pullback on it. $250,000 shares traded on the last candle. Let's see if we can get the current candle to have that many shares traded. Need a pullback right here. Remember I said tiny red candles on this scan. So we're probably going to get a small red candle here by the time it closes for the bounce up. You can see the buyers are way stronger than the sellers. Therefore, they can't pull it back hard. You can also see the volume is lower than normal. So we won't get a pullback. Let's see if it runs up some more. This is how these stocks respond over in high flyers. Still need it to break 843. Always remember this is Friday. Things don't go as planned on Fridays. Somebody may be into profit. Many people could be into profit here and they're cashing out for the weekend. So be careful on Fridays. We did get a spike arrow, but it went away. The volume is dying. We were at 250,000 shares. The last candle is only 174. We are up to 115. Going to keep my mind on it and my eyes on it. It is dropping down the list. I'm taking note of everything that I'm noticing. Dropping down. Bouncing up. The sellers are still not selling. We're holding off. It's holding this price level. That's a good sign. But the volume is dying. Now we're down to 115 on the last candle. Breaking through. Tiny red candles, like I said, for the next run up. See you later, Joel. Have a blessed weekend. So it's acting like Friday. That's what it's doing, to be honest with you. A run up, then a big pause. I like it because it's holding this price range. Volume's getting even lower. We were at like 115. Now we're down to 81. But look at the buying volume came in. It was now it's 179. So they're trying to push it up. Got good separation between the buyers and the sellers. It's only up 9%, plenty of room to run if they can get the buyers to come in. Still holding this price level. Many of you call this squeezing or consolidating or channeling. Pick your favorite word. Not seeing any spikes in it down here in high flyers. CCCC trying to get up off the bottom, retesting 586. Notice how dead we are. Do you see what's happening? This is what I was explaining earlier. Around 9 o'clock, we lose all the volume in the market. Going to get even slower. We get to 9:30, it's going to be asleep. CCCC trying to get up to retest 601. This is what I don't like about CCCC right here. Buyers and sellers are equal. You can see the volume dropped off. Remember, the bottom is the low volume, the top is high volume. The volume is dropping off. CCCC coming down to retest 586. Intact trading, yes, I am trading. I just don't show them on the screen. I have do not show trade selected. I'm not up very much, couple $100. Hopefully I don't lose it. If I trade on the screen, here's what happens. Other people want to click when I click. And if I'm wrong, guess what happens? They all lose their money. Then here come the complaints. I was following your course, and I saw you buy, so I bought and I lost. That's the complaint the SEC has, that if you cause others to lose money and you're not a licensed financial broker, you're in trouble. That's why I say these are support, these are resistance, these support levels are your entry prices. That's legal. I'm only explaining how to play these indicators. That's right. I'm here to entertain you. You see CCCC finally found some buyers, retesting 617. No, people are in hard times, and there's a lot of people that like to sue other people for their money. I'm not going to be that victim. Nice run up on CCCC. We did break this high back here. We're going to come down to retest it. I'm positive of that. I'm watching Mara on another screen. Nice gains on CCCC. It did recover after that sell-off. You can see the buyers dominating the sellers now. I'm going to expect a retest of 617. If it's going to retest, it's going to be down here. I'll take a look at Mara. We are on CCCC. Mara looks like it ran into resistance. I don't really trust Mara on a Friday, especially when it's up here at its high or near its high, or I should say on its upper price range. Thank you for that information, David. Coming back down to retest, like I said, it probably would. May not make it all the way back down there, but I knew it was going to pull back. Almost there. There we are. We're right on it. So if it's going to bounce, this would be where the bounce is. If you want to try an entry, I wouldn't try it yet. I would wait to see if we get a green candle growing again. I would also be watching this line. It's not turning upwards. Keep that thought in mind. This needs to turn up. And that's why it needs to turn up. Tough morning. You would have had to chase green candles this morning to make any money. We only had the one pullback on CCCC, which was back here. The rest of it sold off. Then it gradually rose. Didn't give us an entry here unless we chased. And hopefully you didn't chase it up in this area because now you're negative. So this morning it's more or less an education, and if you got lucky, you made a few dollars. It's tough on Friday. If you didn't make anything, don't dish yourself. It happens. Monday may have a good day, may not. Tuesday should be better. Wednesday should be better. Thursday should be better. Then we're back to Friday. Just because you didn't make anything today doesn't mean you're not going to double up on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. Volume is starting to die off. We're starting to get a downward angle. This price can still rise as we're losing volume because the buyers are outnumbering the sellers. Probably won't rise as much. Yes, that's a good sign. This is not. Watching my scan over here. I'm this one here. Let's see what we're doing. Okay, we missed a crawl up and then one spike. Moving on up. That's about 20 cents in that candle, but you would have had to chase it to get it. Look down here. Does that tell you anything? Sellers don't exist. Look at it turning up. You can see the profit takers starting to come in. Not seeing any signs of a pullback. That seller level is laying flat down there at the bottom. It's probably just a few profit takers right here. That would be resistance. They tried to break through it, but they didn't. So we're waiting for this candle to close. That candle did close, but we got another red one right beside it. Let's mark this one instead. You know, news can be very deceiving. I've seen where they had bad news, but the bad news was not as bad as they thought, but they still bought on bad news. Interpreting news is very difficult. So not so bad news can be good news. I'm going to mark that level there. If we get a bounce, it'll be between 331 and 350 for 20 cents, 19 cents. If you can catch it all. I don't think it's going back up really. But it can make a liar out of me. Sometimes they do. Did get a spike on this arrow. Everybody's following what I'm doing. Sometimes I think the whole market's following what I'm saying. Volume is dying off. This is a no play, okay? No play. Outsider, everything you see on my screen is for free. Everything's located over on Discord. There's the link to my Discord channel. Make sure when you sign up, you click the disclaimer and accept it. Then go to the start here on the left. I think we're going to pretty much calm down here for the market to go to sleep for the rest of the day. For the very few stocks that may pop up during Friday. If you watch the market all day long, make sure to continue playing pullbacks. Don't chase the green candles. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. You have a blessed one too. You too, JC. God bless you, brother. So everybody here that's using this volume spike indicator, I want you to know that it is adjustable. I have it set on 0, so we're going to see the most minimal spike before the run up. That helps you to get in earlier, but doesn't necessarily mean the stock is going to go up. You can right click on the name, go to edit formula, and if you put 100 here and 100 here, no stocks will show up in this column unless they exceed 1% over the last 50 bars, okay? So if you don't want to see stocks unless they hit 2 or 3%, you would change this number to 200 or 300, and only stocks that exceed 3% over the last 50 bars will show. So if you're tired of seeing all these minimal bouncers and you only want the ones to show up that's really getting high volume, you can adjust it to 2 or 3. And when they hit 2 or 3, that's when the spike will trigger. I just leave it wide open like it is, and then I notice up here if they're over 2 or 3, then I'll look at them throughout the trading day. But most of the time I'm done at 9:30. I know I will be today because it's Friday. Probably go back to converting pine strip indicators and try to get some of them done. Go for it. You have a blessed weekend. Like everything is selling off now. So if you like what you see, hit the like button for me if you haven't done so. Make sure you join my YouTube channel. Help support me on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Like the videos and comment on the videos. It helps us keep our rating up. It helps me to earn a few more dollars to keep this going. This Sunday, I will be releasing the swing indicator. If you subscribe to YouTube, you will get a notification the moment that video and indicator post. After the video post, then I'll make the indicators available on Discord. So you're going to have to get them in 2 different locations. The swing indicator itself is going to be in TOS scripts. But I did build 2 scans to go with it. One of them is for stocks going up. The other one is for stocks going down according to the swing indicator line. So when you get a stock on the scan that swing up, it's going to have an arrow pointing up, and the line had just turned green. That doesn't mean it's a good buy. You need to give it a candle or 2. Since it's a swing play, you have time. So wait for confirmation, 1 or 2 or 3 green candles after the line turns green. We'll probably give it a good run next week. See how it responds. It's been in testing for a couple of weeks now. I'm going to release it on Sunday. It's fine-tuned as much as I can get it. AUR, slowly growing. Everything is in Discord. Not holding anything back from you. Go get it. It's free. If you haven't joined our Discord, here's the link to Discord. Make sure you accept the disclaimer so the channels will pop in. And head right on over to Start Here if you're not familiar with what's going on. See you later, Lynn. God bless you. Have a good weekend. Outsider, I only rely on my own creations to guide me through the market. I feel that they are the best thing going. They're all custom coded by me. I know exactly what to make them look for. Your only job is to learn how they work, and it's not very hard. You don't have to pay for a scanning service. Now that I have this volume spike indicator going, it's going to save you money right there, right off the bat. You'll never find a scanner that you pay for that's going to give you multiple choice. Scott, as I said, head over to Start Here. It's on the left. Just click Start Here. You have to put in an effort. I'm getting a lot of questions that I shouldn't have to answer, like where's this at, when they didn't even look. I know you're anxious to get it loaded. Take your time, learn, explore the channels, read the descriptions, and it'll eliminate a lot of questions that I have to answer. BRCA breaking through 491. Thank you, Joseph. Joseph, you don't know how to convert ThinkorSwim to PineScript, do you? You could be a great help to this channel if you know how to do that. That's funny, David. Me and you are on the same page. Do you know PineScript? That's all right. I tried. Joseph, if you know somebody that can convert ThinkScript over to PineScript, we can bring those people over here too and grow twice as fast, because everybody from PineScript wants these indicators. And right now we're all learning how to convert them. It'd be beneficial to all of us. I did check on Fiverr to find a coder that could do it, and they want $100 per script, no matter how big it is, even if it's just 3 or 4 lines of code. And when you have over 100 different scans and scripts, man, you're talking $20,000 if I paid that price. I don't want to go there. I'm already 13 down. I don't want to go 33 down. It's not as easy as you think. It doesn't really work from just pasting it in ChatGPT. I'm familiar with ChatGPT, and be aware that I've tried it. And I'm actually good at ChatGPT. But it's not reliable. You get error code after error code, and then some of the interpretations are not what PineScript wants to comply with. So it may give you the right PineScript, but not the right coding. Oh, it's a good tool. Don't get me wrong. It may work every now and then, but some of these scripts are so complicated that I put together. Sometimes I have to find alternate words that mean the same thing that the different platforms understand, and that can be difficult. Some of my indicators are multiple indicators tied together, all working together. That makes it even more difficult for PineScript. I do not. Most of these indicators are my knowledge. Only time I'm at ChatGPT is if I can't figure out something, if I just need an answer. But as far as the overall code, it comes through my experience. But sometimes I have to rely on ChatGPT to, well, what is this code then? That's about the only time I use it. Thank you, David Reeves, for your donation. Very appreciated, and God bless you, brother. Role playing, sign up for Discord, head to start here. Is WriteScript a kind of like a ChatGPT thing, or is that something, a subscription service you got to pay for? What I really need is something that understands my coding and knows how to convert it to PineScript. VRCA is halted. I don't think there is a ThinkScript course. I've had to learn it from the book itself. And just out of common knowledge that I picked up through the years, I kind of know what to look for. If you don't know how difficult coding is, just try to learn it. It's not a weekly thing. It's not a monthly thing. It's something you have to continually learn. All right, guys, it's 9:30. I'm going to end my session here. Thank you to everyone who contributed to keep me going, all of the donations. Don't forget about our Patreon. That's continuing support. You can name your price over there. I hope you enjoyed this morning's session. If you're new to us, join our Discord. Head over to Start Here. It'll give you a few steps to get going. Please do your research first. Don't just come to support and say, I can't find it. Especially if you didn't put the effort to look. That just causes us to have more time away from what we like to do, and that's trading. So put in a little bit of effort for me. Read the descriptions. Look for what you actually want. Don't be too excited to get it all together. You've got 2 more days, 3 counting today, to be ready for Monday. But if you are desperate for help, you've tried everything, you've watched the how-to videos, we're willing to help you. But watching them how-to videos is very helpful. It'll keep you from asking support questions and keep our workload down. Thank you, as always, for participating this morning. Remember, don't post buy and sell indications in the chat rooms. Keep the chat rooms clean. Don't fill them full of guesses. That's not how this system works. Make sure you've checked the volume. Price is moving in a favored direction before you post a stock pick. Let's try to keep it simple for everybody. If everybody's clicking on everything that everybody posts, nobody ever gets anywhere. So do your homework first before you post. And remember not to post buy and sell indications of a trade. God bless you. I hope you have a good weekend. I appreciate you joining me this morning, and I'm out of here.